Okay, for this first one, I'm visualizing it as a four-note grouping that I'm moving up in tritones. So one cool thing that you can do in the whole tone scale is so in this case, like I said, we're starting on G, think of it as a G whole tone scale. You can play two augmented arpeggios, a tritone apart. So in this case, we have G augmented, G, B, E flat, or D sharp. And then the second one's C sharp augmented, C sharp, F, A. Okay, and then what I did to that was, like I said, it's a four-note grouping, and I'm thinking of it like this. If I'm thinking of the starting note, I do my root, third, sharp 5, and then I actually go back down and I play the 9. So I have G with my pointer finger, G with my middle finger, B with my pointer finger, E flat with my pinky, and then A with my ring finger, and that's the pattern that I'm moving up in tritones. 1, 3, sharp 5, 2. And then I think of the same pattern now starting on C sharp. So 1, then our third is F, sharp 5, which is the pinky on A, and then ring finger goes to E flat. So, and I'm picking the first two notes and I'm hammering on to that third note. Always starting at each pattern with my middle finger, so I'm leading each position with my middle finger. So then I go up to G, I just do the same thing up an octave. Now, middle finger on G, pointer finger on B, hammer on to E flat with my pinky. Ring finger goes to A. Okay, so right here the fingering changes up a bit. Pointer finger goes to C sharp, C sharp, C sharp on, and then F, both with my pointer finger. And I hammer on to A with my pinky. Then middle finger goes to E flat. Last one, middle finger back to G on the second string, pointer finger on B, hammer on to E flat, and the ring finger goes to A, and that's the whole thing. Alright, this next one is pretty cool. I like this one. So we're going to start on our first string, and we're going to start with our pinky on the 7th fret, and then you go down to G with your pointer finger. Yeah, you pick all these notes. So pinky on B, pointer finger on G, middle finger on A, and then pick B again, and then you pull off to G. And then from there you go down an augmented arpeggio. So G, middle finger on E flat, middle finger on B, and then ring finger on G. Now all we're doing is we're taking that same pattern and just moving it down in major thirds. So if our starting note was G, now a major third below that is, if our starting note was B, then a major third below that is going to be G. So then I go to my second string, 8th fret with my pinky, which is G. So G, pointer finger on E flat, middle finger on F, back to G, and I pull off to E flat. And then I go down the augmented arpeggio again, pointer finger on B, middle finger on G, ring finger on E flat. So we got... Okay, and then start on E flat on the 3rd string, pointer finger goes down to B, pick C sharp, pick E flat, and pull off to B. Then middle finger goes to G, ring finger on E flat, pinky on B. So we got... Okay, and this last one, pinky is going to go up to the 9th fret on the 4th string, which is a B note. Pointer pointer finger down to G, pick the A, pick the B, and pull off to G. And then middle finger on E flat, ring finger on B, pointer finger down on G. So it's... This one is a little bit tricky, and I don't find myself using it very often, but I think it is a good one for helping you get a better understanding of playing the whole tone scale through a lot of different areas of the neck and just getting more and more comfortable with different fingerings of it, because I found that like with scales like this, you can get really comfortable just doing the kind of visualizing some of those like stock fingerings where you're doing the same fingering on each string, just moving up a fret. It's easy to kind of, visualize it like that, but I've noticed like when you try to maneuver it around a lot of different spots of the neck, it can definitely get a little bit weird. Even though it's all whole steps, I've found that like when I would do some exercises like with some long form augmented arpeggios, like stuff like that, I noticed at first it took a little bit of reworking in my brain to kind of like get comfortable visualizing on those different positions, because it is a little bit weird. But I think this exercise helps with that, this pattern, I should say. And then it's it's thirds. So basically just think of it like it's like a third pattern, but you're doing an ascending third and then a descending one. So this is how it starts. It starts with your pointer finger on 11 on the first string, and you hammer on to 15 with your pinky. Then you go down to 9 on the first string with your pointer finger. Then middle finger goes to 10 on the second string. Now I have to shift to the 12th fret on the second string, and I play 12 and I hammer on to 16 with my pinky. Then my pointer finger goes down to 10, play 10 on the second and third string. So far we have... Alright, and then I'm going to go down another 2 frets, so I put my pointer finger on G on the second string, and I hammer on to B with my pinky. Then from here I go down, I switch strings, I put my pointer finger on 10 on the third string, middle finger goes to 11. Then I go down 2 frets on the third string on the 8th fret, hammer on to 12 with my pinky, go down to the 6th fret, pointer finger on 6, middle finger on 7. Okay, and then from here, I switch to the 9th fret on the 4th string. 9, hammer on to 13 with my pinky. Go down 2 frets to the 7th fret, and my middle finger on F. And then I'll go down again, pointer finger on G, hammer on to B with my pinky. And then, okay. Then pointer finger will go to F on the 5th string, middle finger to D flat, down 2 frets, pointer finger on E flat, hammer on to G with my pinky, then I go down to C sharp and I play A with my middle finger, 2 more frets down, B, hammer on to E flat, open A, and then all the way down on F. So we're getting from here all the way down to here doing these thirds, and it is a little bit awkward. Let me do it slow. Okay, I really like this next one, and I got this one actually from just making a variation on a Slonimsky half-hole diminished pattern that I did for my Lick of the Week series. I'll put the link for that video in the description because it's a similar fingering, it just moves in different intervallic patterns. And so this one, I just took this one shape, this is a cool sounding shape, start on G, and I hammer on to B with my pinky, and then I jump up 2 strings to F with my pointer finger, and then my middle finger goes to C sharp. Alright, that's the pattern. So as you notice, a lot of these patterns that I'm coming up with, I'm just taking a 4-note grouping within the scale and then just moving it in either, whole steps or major thirds or any type of interval that lines up in the whole tone scale. So you can come up with, plenty of patterns of your own just using this method. So Do that. And I basically just move up in whole steps. So I'm going to move up to do the same thing starting on A. So it's A, hammer on to C sharp, pointer finger on G, middle finger on E flat. Then I move it up again to B. B, D sharp, A, F. Now I switch strings and I have to go to C sharp on the 5th string, so my 4th fret. C sharp, hammer on to F, pointer finger on B, middle finger on G. Then move it up 2 frets to E flat, E flat G, D flat A. Then I move it up another 2 frets, F, A, E flat B. And then my last one I move it up to G, G, B, F, C sharp. You can keep going if you want. Or no. If you switch strings, it would have to be a little bit of a different fingering. It'd be pointer, pinky, and then middle finger twice. So I just went from G to G, so we got... Alright, and this last one just demonstrates a pretty common triad pair when you're doing the whole tone scale. Triad pair basically is just like 2 different arpeggios with no repeating notes. Or I think technically they could have repeating notes. I'm not sure if there's a rule with that. But it's just 2 different arpeggios that outline notes of the scale. So in a whole tone scale, you can do 2 augmented arpeggios a whole step apart. So you can basically, if you just take this shape... just keep moving it up in whole steps. You hear like Wes Montgomery does that in his 4-on-6 solo. I don't know exactly the line, but he goes like... does something like that to get into G minor, which is a cool sound. But it's used a lot. You hear a lot of people doing stuff like that. So this one, we're doing a G augmented arpeggio. So G, B flat, G, E flat, and B are the 3 notes. And the pattern we're doing is we're doing G, down to the B, up to the E flat, and then back up to the G. So it's a 4-note pattern. Then all I do is I move down to F, F, middle finger on C sharp, middle finger on A, and then ring finger on F. So there's a little bit of there's a skip in the first arpeggio. The second one just goes straight down. Then I have to put my pointer finger on E flat on the 2nd string, E flat, middle finger on G, pointer finger on B, pointer finger back on E flat, down 2 frets, C sharp, A, F, C sharp. Alright, pointer finger goes to B on the 3rd string, B, ring finger on E flat, middle finger on G, pointer finger on B again, down 2 frets, A, F, C sharp, G, A, my bad. So. And our last one, pointer finger goes to G on the 4th string, G, B, E flat, G, down 2 frets, F, C sharp, A, F. Okay, so. Okay, and that's all 5 of them. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested in more patterns, I have a video of 10 augmented scale patterns and 10 diminished patterns. I'll leave those links in the description if you're interested, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any lesson videos that you'd like me to do, you can donate to the PayPal link in the description, and I can make a video for you if you'd like. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.